it's John from Physical Living, and in this video I'm going to give you a very quick rundown of these 14 kettlebells which are available for sale in the USA. I've got at least one model of every competition style kettlebell from all the major companies, and so I'm just going to tell you which ones I like the most, which ones I think are the highest value, which ones I think are the highest quality, the most budget friendly, and which ones you should probably look at if you're a kettlebell athlete. So let me just go through them. These will be, exactly which ones these are will be labeled below the video, so if you're wondering what's that one right there, just check the video description, or the description below the video, and I'll tell you. So first, the highest quality kettlebells here would be these four, kind of front and off to your left. This is a kettlebell from kettlebellsusa.com. It's the Paradigm Pro Elite. And this is, in my opinion, one of the highest quality kettlebells I've ever used, maybe the highest quality kettlebell I've ever used. And of all of these kettlebells here, this one is my preference. It's my personal favorite. This one is from kettlebellkings.com. It's one of their kettlebell sport models. Also an extremely high quality kettlebell, one of the best I've ever used. Feels really good in rack position and overhead position. Super awesome kettlebell. This one is from Eleiko, or Eleiko, E-L-E-I-K-O, and this is also an extremely high quality kettlebell. Very nice handle, very good grip, just good ergonomics for me, very smooth, very good finish. Also very nice kettlebell, made in Europe. This is a Vulcan Strength Training Systems kettlebell, also super high quality, one of the best of the bunch. And has a nice wide U-shaped handle, so it's really easy to clean and get it into rack position. Probably a really good option for people with larger hands or who like to do two-handed swings with their kettlebell. So, but if you're shopping for quality, anything from these four companies, Kettlebells USA, Kettlebell Kings, Eleiko, and Vulcan, you're going to be well served for quality. So the next thing is which ones of these are the highest value purchases, so like kind of the best kettlebell for your money, and I'm going to point you to these two companies, Kettlebells USA and KettlebellKings.com. You know, these are among the highest quality kettlebells here, and all of these, they're so close in quality, and it's almost hard to choose, you know, a winner of which one has the best quality, because I like different things about each one of them. It's kind of like my kids, you know, it's like, which one's your favorite kid? It's like, well, they're all my favorite. I love them all the same, but I love different things about each one of them, and it's the same thing with these four kettlebells. But when it comes to pricing for your money, these two from Kettlebells USA and Kettlebell Kings, they offer the best value. And so I think the vast majority of people who are looking for a kettlebell would be best served checking out their websites. My personal preference would be Kettlebells USA. For a number of reasons that I won't get into this video, but Kettlebell Kings is another awesome choice. Both companies have great customer service, good policies when it comes to their warranties, their return and refund policy. They both have a full selection of kettlebells and lots of different packages available if you want to buy just buy more than one, and you can save some money. And the prices are very competitive and not that much higher than a lot of the more budget-friendly options that are tend to be lower in quality. So if you're shopping for value, and I think most people do, go with Kettlebells USA, their Paradigm Pro Elite line, and go with KettlebellKings.com, their kettlebell sport line. But that said, these two here from Eleiko and Vulcan, very high quality, but they do tend to cost more, so you're going to spend a little bit more money on them. So next thing would be the more budget-friendly options, and I'm going to point you to four different companies. This one in the front is also a KettlebellsUSA.com model. It's just a lower grade model, so the manufacturing process, I guess, is simpler, so it doesn't cost them as much to produce, which means they can charge less. But this is still a very high quality kettlebell at a significantly, well, not super significant, but you're definitely going to save some money if you go with that. So this is the Kettlebells USA, Kettlebells USA Paradigm Pro Classic line. So we got the Paradigm Pro Elite on the end, and this is the Paradigm Pro Classic, which is kind of a step down in quality, but it's still a super nice kettlebell. One of the best kettlebells here, even though it's technically in the budget section. And so if you're looking for the best kettlebell at a low price, this is the first one I'd point you towards. 3 other companies that I'll point you towards are Perform Better. This one's from performbetter.com, and when Perform Better has pretty good prices almost all the time, but they have sales frequently. And if you can catch one of their kettlebells on sale, you're going to get one of the best prices I've ever seen in my over 12 years using kettlebells. So that's something to look out for if you're really looking. If you want a competition style kettlebell, you know, a nice kettlebell, then check out Perform Better when they have a sale. Another kettlebell that's good for the money, it's a low budget option, would be christiansfitnessfactory.com. During my process of reviewing these over the last few months, they actually had the lowest prices out of all the companies consistently. Not much lower than some of these budget kettlebells that I'm going over now. Usually it was like $1, maybe a few dollars cheaper than some of the other companies, but they do have the lowest prices, and it's a good kettlebell. It's not one of the highest quality ones here, but it's a good solid kettlebell that if you take care of it, it will last a long time for you. The last one in the budget category that I'll point you towards is from kettlebellkings.com. So this is Kettlebell Kings Sport model. It's their, the premium kettlebell, and this is a lower quality one. It's one of their steel standard models. From kettlebellkings.com. This is another good kettlebell. I included it in the budget category because it is priced cheaper, like these other ones. Of the 4 of these, this one did have some surface imperfections, some chips and scratches in the paint. It's just some rough spots. And so of the budget ones, of the models that I have here, it's the lowest quality of these 4 that I selected out. But I do want to include that because maybe you want to get some higher quality ones and some lower quality ones for training at a reduced price, and so that would be a good option too. And Vulcan also offers lower quality kettlebells as well, but they tend to be pretty expensive compared to some of the others, and so you just got to be aware of that if you don't mind spending the extra money because you like this design, this style, because the shape of the handle and the distribution of the weight is a little bit different from some of the others, and so maybe some of you kettlebell athletes might be interested in that, because when you get into high rep time sets, the details matter, and how it fits you you begin to notice it more. So those are the budget ones. So if you are a kettlebell athlete or want to get into kettlebell sport, and I am not, have never competed in kettlebell sport, so take my advice with a grain of salt, but I would probably direct you to these 4 companies here: Kettlebells USA, Kettlebell Kings, Eleiko, and Vulcan, simply because they're all super high quality. I believe that they all meet the vast majority of standards for kettlebell sporting competitions in the USA and around the world. At least they publish that information on their websites. And so I would direct you to those 4 companies. And when it comes to athletes choosing their gear, it usually comes down to your personal preferences. And so ideally, in a perfect world, you'd be able to try out models from each one and see how it fits in rack position and overhead and just how it feels. Obviously, not everybody can do that, and so just check out their websites and don't be afraid to ask them questions. I had a great customer service experience with. Particularly these 3 companies, Kettlebells USA, Kettlebell Kings, and Eleiko. They all went above and beyond to make me happy all throughout this review process and getting me these kettlebells and answering my questions. I had phone calls and many emails where they sent me information, and so I really don't think you can go wrong with any one of them. But if you're just looking for a good kettlebell and the quality it's not a main factor for you, and you're not a kettlebell athlete, you're just a recreational fitness trainee who's going to use a kettlebell once in a while. Honestly, these are all good kettlebells, all the ones here. And some of them I didn't mention. I'll mention them in my more thorough review on my blog. But they're all good kettlebells, and I think anybody would be well served by using any one of these. So that's the very short, abbreviated version of my review. I have a much more thorough, comprehensive review available on my blog, and where I go into a lot more detail as to why I came up with these recommendations. But take it for what it's worth. I really appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.